Test. 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 Alright. Shit works. I think that's much better. One flew over the cockatoo's nest. Wait a minute. No. Cuckoo's nest. No. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. Yep. That's right. Starring Jack, son of Nickel. He plays R.P. McMurphy. Ralph Penis McMurphy. Ralph Patrick McMurphy. He was imprisoned for assault and raping a statue. But then he starts talking about this 15-year-old girl in a perverted way and... Wait a minute. Oh. Well, I'm retarded. Then he gets transferred to a loony bin, which is exactly where he wants to be, because he thinks he'll have more freedom there and can do whatever he wants. But the prison peeps, they're on to him, you see. They think he's faking insanity, so he can get there and do whatever the fuck he wants. And they're not wrong. In this loony bin, we've got all types of shapes and sizes. We got wheelchair old guy, a dude that looks like a fucking tomato, man baby, fucking zombie, man baby number 2 except he's shorter, more insane, deaf Indian chief, long beard, fucked up Snape, this guy that looks like a fucking pedophile but isn't, extremely bald guy, satellite dish ears, and Billy. They sit down in a circle for this group therapy session meeting thing, and we are introduced to this Ratchet slut who has the most punchable face in America, and her name is in fact Ratchet, so we all know who the main asshole of this movie is. Anyway, Ratchet is the head nurse or whatever in this hospital or this loony bin, and she begins the meeting by asking a question to the pedo about his wife, and asks if anybody has a comment on the answer, which one of them does. They all start fighting, and I am not so sure that's how group therapy is supposed to go, but I ain't no doctor, so you do you and go on with your shitty therapy, Ratchet. Next up, they go out to take a break in some fresh air, and Murph tries to teach the big-ass chief how to play basketball without communicating because he's deaf. He even recruits fucked up Snape and stands on his back to show him how to fucking dunk a ball, but he's ultimately unsuccessful. Then he tries to play blackjack with the patients, but wait a minute. Is that blackjack? It's blackjack, right? Right? Anyway, he's unsuccessful at that too, and they make him angry. And you know what makes him even more angry? The fucking elevator music that Ratchet has playing. So he goes and tries to turn it down, or turn it off, whichever works. But Ratchet's a bitch, and she doesn't do it. And then she's like, hey, take these pills. And he's like, nah. And then she's like, if you don't take these pills, I'm gonna shove them up your ass. And he's like, nah, that's fucking gay. Then he's like, okay, fine, I'll take the pills. But he doesn't actually take the pills. And he makes a bet to the pedo that he can piss the bitch off real bad. After that, they're in another group circle, and Murphy asks Ratchet bitch if they can ditch the schedule for the day and watch the World Series. She's like, nah, people are too used to the schedule, you're gonna fuck up their shit. He's like, no, don't worry, they can go back to the schedule after we watch some baseball. She's like, fine, let's have a vote. And only 3 people raise their hands. The rest of them are cunts. So we cut to the tub room, and they're all hanging over there. Some of them are playing Monopoly. Pedo and Big Ears fight. Man baby number 2 eats a fucking dice, and Murphy sprays them down with some water. And he bets them that he can break out of here and go watch the game downtown somewhere by lifting up this thing that has the hose on top of it, and I'm pretty sure it's made out of fucking granite, and throw it through the window and escape and go watch the game. Tries to do it and fails miserably. Next day comes, and they're back in a therapy circle. This time they're talking about Billy. And are we sure this guy's alive? I mean, oh wait, there he goes, he's moving, he's alright. Then Man Baby intervenes and says, watching baseball can be therapy too. And she's like, fine, we're gonna have one final vote. Is that gonna make you happy? Yeah. So they have the vote, and everybody raises their hands. Dope. But she's like, not dope. I only count 9 votes, and there's 18 patients in this ward. She, of course, is referring to these fucktards that are otherwise too brain dead to fucking participate in this vote, let alone comprehend what a fucking schedule is. So Murph then tries to get one of them, just one of them, to turn the vote, because that's all he needs, one person, so they can watch a fucking baseball game. While he's trying to do that, fucking Ratchet bitch is like, this meeting is adjourned. But just after that, Navajo chief, big man, big chief, raises his hand, and he's like, look, he raised his hand. It's 10 to 8 now. It's 10 to 8. We get to watch the fucking baseball game. She's like, I said the meeting was adjourned, ho. He's like, oh, you bitch. So he just sits on the bench and looks at the TV and starts casting the imaginary baseball game that he just made up in his head to piss her off. And he gets really enthusiastic about it. And all the dumbass patients come around him, and they're really happy, and they're all jumping around getting into it. Even the fucking dead guy's in on it, and he's happy and loving. Look at him, full of life. Man, you go, girl. And this makes the Ratchet bitch really fucking angry. Next up is their break in the great outdoors, and Murph uses the chief by standing on his fucking back and jumping over the fence to escape the ward. And the movie tries to play it off by, oh, the guard was playing basketball, he didn't notice him. 2 things. A, why is there only 1 guard there? Aren't you supposed to have like 3 or 4 or something like that? So when some of these idiots goes nutsos, you can restrain him and bring him back to the fucking hospital? Isn't that how it's supposed to go? Then why is there only 1 person there? Huh? Tell me that. And B, this guard sucks at basketball. So Murph escapes and steals a bus, and then takes the patients on a fucking joyride. Then he goes to pick up a hoe, then he goes to the docks. All while not being chased by any authorities. How the fuck does this happen? This is a big ass bright yellow school bus, for fuck's sake. The only reasonable explanation I can think of for cops not being on his ass as soon as they left is that these idiots didn't call the cops. Fucking idiots. Anyway, they get to the docks, and they find a boat, and the guy, the dock owner or the dock keeper, whatever, comes and he asks Murph what the fuck you doing? Murph is like, well, Doc is here, yo, we're coming on a fucking fishing trip. And the guy fucks off to presumably call the cops, but Murph takes the boat anyway. They go on the fishing trip, Murph teaches them how to fish, Billy flirts with the nice lady of the night, they catch some big ass fish, and they come back and they find that the cops are waiting for them. Fucking took you long enough. After they arrive, some boys in suits and Miss Ratchet hold a meeting about Senor Murphy, okay? And they conclude that he's not insane, but he kinda is, and that he's definitely really dangerous. So they discuss having him sent back to prison. But then Ratchet's like, no, I want to stay. I think I can fix it. Bitch, no you can't, okay? Fucking so damn punchable, I swear. Next day comes, and they're back in the great outdoors. And Murphy's trying to play basketball with them again. This time with all the idiots. And it's idiots versus guards. See, I told you there'd be more guards. And they proceed to play basketball with varying degrees of success.
Back, I'm in the open! What are you doing? You threw the goddamn ball into the fish! Hardy, give it back! Back to me, Hardy. Here! I'm open! Hardy, will you give me the ball?
But fucking Chief having none of it. Chief ain't playing no games. Except for now because he's playing basketball. But you get my point, okay? He badass. He's straight up cold as hell, okay? He cheats and he doesn't even give a fuck, man. Look at him walk. Look at him start his stuff. Next up, they're in a news setting. They're in a pool. And someone should really check this guy's pulse. Anyway, Murph finds out in the pool that he can basically never leave. So in the circle group meeting, therapy, whatever, he confronts all his buddies about why they never fucking told him that he can never leave. And then he finds out that they can leave wherever the fuck they want. Most of them can do that. They're here by choice. But they've been brainwashed to stay because they're morons. Then they start to question Ratchet Bitch. And Man Baby's angry because she is hiding his cigarettes away from him. And he asks why. And he's really mad about it. And Pedo won't share his fucking cigarettes with him. He has a cigarette and they keep fucking with him because he doesn't want to share. So they take it and they keep throwing it around. And it finally lands in the big ears guy's pant leg. And it catches fire and he starts going loco. And that's where the meme is from. I finally know where it's from. I feel like one of those Asian tourist families that goes and takes pictures of fucking water bottles in America because they're amazed by everything. You know, I found it. I found the meme, man. So the guards drag the big ears guy away. Big Baby starts flipping shit about his cigarettes. And Murph can't take it anymore. So he breaks the glass and takes the cigarettes and gives it to him. So they start dragging away the Big Baby. And he's really scared. So Murph tries to go and defend it by punching out one of the guards. And they start beating shit out of each other. Big chunky boy Chief is like, whoa, don't touch my friend. And he comes and he helps him out. And they start beating shit out of the guards. And some more guards come. And they take all three of them away with them to be dealt with. So they go over there and sit on a bench temporarily. And they take the Big Baby. And they drag him into a room. And Murph finds out that the Chief is not actually deaf, and he's been faking it all this time. So they make a plan and a pact that they should escape together to Canada. Then they take Murph into the same room, and they zap some electricity in his brain, and he comes back, and this one resilient motherfucker, okay? He comes back, and it's like nothing happened at all, much to the dismay of the Ratchet Bitch. That night, Murphy sneaks two of his hoes in, and he promises the night guard some booze, some money, and one of the chicks. Okay, so he gives him one of the chicks and then wakes up the rest of the ward and starts having a party. So the night guard comes out, he's like,
This bitch!
dude, what do you think was gonna happen? The supervisor comes around, and the night guard plays it off by acting like he was fucking a hooker or something. Because a man's gotta do what he's gotta do. A man gets lonely sometimes, whatever. Then they get back to business partying. The guard cries himself to sleep. Murphy steals some keys to the fucking window, and he opens the window and he starts saying his goodbyes to all the peeps in the ward. But Billy's sad. Billy's sad. He's leaving, right? So he wants to give him a parting gift by letting him fuck the fucking hooker that he was flirting with on the boat. And Marty thinks it's just gonna be a quickie, you know? He's just gonna get it over quickly. But no, Billy's a fucking stud, yo. And then they all pass out. Next morning, the Ratchet Bitch comes along and she finds a mess that they made. And can I just pause for a second and just comment about her hair? I mean, that is some fucking evil hairdo. That's like the devil's haircut if the devil had hair. Good job to the fucking makeup department for making her look evil as fuck. So she rounds up the idiots and then finds out that Billy's been fucking. And everybody's like, good job, Billy, you now have herpes. So she asks him, aren't you ashamed? And he's like, no, I'm not. And then everybody's like, so she then threatens to tell his mother, and he's dragged away kicking and screaming because he doesn't want his mother to find out. And she's being a bitch about it. Like, why the fuck would you rat on him, bitch? Meanwhile, Murphy is trying to escape. He's opening the window and trying to escape, but he is stopped by a scream. And they all run to where the scream came from, and this is where the movie takes a little bit of a dark turn. You see, Billy killed himself. And Ratchet, this bitch is like, the best thing we can do right now is go on with our daily routine. You want insensitive hoe, you know that? You deserve what's coming to you. And what's coming to her is that Murphy lunges at her and tries to fucking choke her to death, but then the guards arrive just about when he was almost about to kill her and take him off of her. The next night, Murphy is dragged back to bed and the Chief wakes up and goes to him and finds out that he has been lobotomized. So he hugs him and then says that he doesn't want to leave him like this, and then spare him the suffering and pain of living with half a brain for the rest of his life. He smothers him and kills him with a pillow. Chief then proceeds to rip the huge ass granite shit I told you about from earlier and throw it through the fucking window to escape. And frankly, I'm surprised no one woke up except for one person, because that shit was loud as fuck. fuck. However, I am not surprised as to who it is that woke up, because it was satellite dish ears. Okay, of course he'd wake up. That fucking dude can hear your fucking thoughts. Anyway, he wakes up and he screams, yelling in fucking victory or whatever, and joy. Everybody else wakes up and they all start yelling as well, and the chief hightails it into the darkness of the night. It's a cool movie. I give it 7 ratchets out of 10 clanks.